Two men, one lamp, and the slow descent into madness. Welcome to The Lighthouse.
Released in 2019, The Lighthouse was Robert Eggers' second feature after The Witch, another fable about faith, guilt and isolation. He co-wrote it with his brother Max and shot it with cinematographer Yarin Blaschke, whose eye for light and shadow turned damp timber into black velvet. Willem Dafoe plays Thomas Wake, an old sailor with a beard like a storm cloud and teeth like tombstones. Robert Pattinson is Ephraim Winslow, younger, quieter, but already starting to crack. Two men arrive on a rock at the edge of the world to tend a light for 4 weeks. The veteran, Wake, keeps the lamp for himself, forbidding the younger man to gain access.
You don't go in there.
Winslow hauls coal, cleans chamber pots and paints the lighthouse, and all the while dreams of getting into the lamp room. A storm comes, and the relief boat never arrives. The two men drink, they fight, and they confess, and slowly reality begins to slide. A gull dies, a mermaid appears, and the sea seems almost to breathe. By the end, identity itself has gone, only the light remains. At its heart, The Lighthouse is about power, who owns the light and who gets burned by it. There's a Promethean echo, where man steals divine knowledge and gets punished for doing so. But it's also about class and labour, the worker who toils, while the master hoards the light. Eggers found the idea buried in a footnote, the real-life case of two Welsh lighthouse keepers trapped by a storm in 1801, one of whom died while the other slowly lost his mind. He mixed that story with maritime folklore, bits of Melville, scraps of Prometheus, and his own fascination with a man's doomed need to know the unknowable. He wanted to make a story that smelled of turpentine, seamen and brine. Well, mission very much accomplished. The frame is almost square, 1.19 to 1, squeezing the men together like specimens in a jar. It's like the edges of the screen are closing in on them. Lighting comes from oil lamps and cloudy daylight. Every shadow looks sculpted.
This was shot in Nova Scotia in brutal conditions. The lighthouse itself was built specifically for the film on a remote cape, and when the tide came in, the crew were literally cut off.
The shoot lasted 34 days in freezing gales, and both actors were nearly hypothermic by wrap.
Dafoe and Pattinson rarely spoke off set. Eggers wanted their relationship to be earned on screen. Dafoe slept in the freezing cabin used in the film, and Pattinson refused to rehearse. He wanted his reactions raw. The result is one of the most feral acting jewels of recent years. And yes, the flatulence was scripted. Dafoe delivers it with Shakespearean gravitas.
A24, who pretty much make the most challenging and interesting films nowadays, and RT Features financed the film for around $11 million. Not much considering they built a full-scale working lighthouse. Premiering at Cannes in 2019, it won the Critics' Prize for Cinematography and received an Oscar nomination for the same. It made $18 million worldwide.
Servants without pay! Are you trying to ruin me?
Small numbers but big impact, and instantly entered the cult canon. Dafoe had already spent decades walking the line between sainthood and lunacy. Platoon, Antichrist and The Last Temptation of Christ, to name but three. Here he found his ultimate role.
I mean no mind, lad. None. Fix us up some coffee.
For Pattinson, it was liberation. Another step away from Twilight and into the wild, risk-driven cinema of Good Time and soon to be Tenet. Eggers used the film as a launchpad to The Northman. Bigger budget, same obsession with myth and mud. Albeit, for my money, not as good a result. Together they proved that you can still make difficult art and have people talk about it.
Lord.
Why do I like it? Because it's a film that dares to be grotesque, funny and terrifying in the same breath.
You're fond of me lobster, ain't you?
Drunken in a Virginia fence.
I seen it. You're fond of me lobster.
So, next time you're near the coast, raise a glass of rum, spare a thought for the seagulls, and remember, whatever you do, don't look into the light.